dominant forms of hip-hop, thin, bubblegum-like, hollow, shallow, stimulating body, no stirring, no soul, which is very, very sad because young people need soul-stirring music.
Yo, what up? Luxurious.
Drums and ammo.
Ghetto. Gifted. Ammbaataa.
It's Ammbaataa, baby.
Yeah.
What's up with you, man?
Oh man, just running around, you know, dadding.
Yep. Oh no, I know what it is. I'm running around, dropping kids off. Still like high school stuff. I got kids in high school, so you know.
Yeah, my son is senior.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it can be nice.
Hey man, thank you for taking the time to chop it up with me. You know,
Thank you.
You just dropped that Stargazer. You know, that thing is like, man. So let me give you the proper intro. This is This, That, and the Third. I got the homie D.Bledsoe repping that South Richmond.
Yeah, I'm saying.
South Richmond, Cali. So I was first introduced to you through Grand National. You know, that was when your name came across, and you know, I've been rocking with Mo Green for, for a minute. You know,
I just got off the phone with Mo.
Oh, you did? Yeah, no, and he's another. Well, let me get into
Yeah.
We'll get into
We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we'll get there. But yeah. So the podcast called This, That, and the Third, and this is just for friends, family, affiliates, and cats that just like inspire. And I feel like I want to, just put that shine on them, put that light on them. And I want to say first, thank you for rocking the show. The Drums and Ammo show. A couple months ago, we, boom, man. Yeah, man, thank you. You always keep that thing going, man. Y'all look, man. The way everything just kind of worked, I can't even.
It was organic.
Yeah, just completely organic. Like you guys, movement started. Drums and Ammo has been going on. Keep it real. This went through different iterations, but at this moment, for you guys to kind of get your movement started, and for me to already kind of be in kind of already been in the in action.
Yeah, you was emotional.
Just gave it that extra push, but yeah, man. First off, I want to get into like straight rap. I want to get into a straight rap question.
Come on.
So, like I'm a voice dude. I'm a voice. Like I love voices.
Yeah.
So your voice, man, you got like a classic. Like it's almost like a brand Nubian. It's real distinguishable. Like it's because it like you can't really compare it to a lot. How long did it take for you to like develop that, and who are your influences kind of coming up?
It's cold because when I do hear comparisons, like it first it takes me off guard, but then I have to think about it, like the stuff that I do listen to and what I've been reared on. And so in terms of that, like I guess is hella apparent, but I've always been a Jay-Z fan since day one.
Okay.
Like like the rest of us, we was raised on Hov, but I was like, I'll tie it to basketball. Like Jordan was the epitome for me. As cliche as it is, like when I started loving basketball, it was because Michael Jordan in 1992. I'm like, that's it. Why would you want to watch anything else? So the same thing when I heard Jay-Z, I'm like, blood, this only makes sense like for this to be my favorite rapper. But even before then, I got an older brother who used to do music in Richmond. He used to produce for a rapper named Ben B. Hard out of Richmond.
Oh, and Ben B. Hard. Oh, What's his name?
He went by hella names as a producer, but his name is John Bledsoe. Went by JB and just hella other names, but he really like was the first one to introduce me. So I was in his car listening to the Heavy D's and the EPMDs, and like he didn't really listen to a lot of like local Bay Area music other than what they were making. So I wasn't exposed to it. Like I was exposed to all the shit that was really going on in the industry.
That's right.
And so like one of my biggest memories in like of influence is hearing Tupac, I Get Around in the back of his car and just clapping in the speakers. And I don't know how old I was, but I wasn't old enough to be listening to any of that type of shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
that just lasted with me, and I'm like, man, this music thing is really like intrinsic. Like it's a feeling. It ain't even like, it wasn't like, oh, I want to be a rapper now that I heard
Yeah.
Tupac, or oh, I want to be a rapper now that I heard Jay-Z. It was like, man, this is so dope that they can make a message sound like this. And just so over time, I'm rapping, but really out of sport. Like I was going to school and playing basketball. I wasn't a rapper, like I was a kid. But
Yeah.
over time, I'm like, man, wait a minute, I can actually make a rap. So before I ever recorded a song, I have countless books of just writing raps because I thought that it was so tight. I was such a fan of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, but the voice specifically, like I guess Jay-Z is probably one of the biggest influences because I for sure have heard the comparison, and that's a messed up one to have because it's the GOAT.
That's the king. Yeah, that's the
that's a GOAT. So I can't hit that mark, but at the same time, that's been the comparison I heard the most.
That's a trip because I wouldn't have placed that. I wouldn't have said that.
Dope. Thank you.
You know what I mean? No, 'cause straight. I mean, I guess maybe in delivery, delivery of it, but you can't create your voice. Like the voice you have is what you got. And that's why I said it reminds me like it's like a brand new being Sadat X, Grand Poobah, and even like you said, Mo Green. When I first heard Mo Green, I was like, dude, like his voice is just completely like it's his own. Like it kind of, but like I said, he reminded me of Diamond D. He had a Diamond D voice.
No, again, it's that nostalgia in there somewhere, and maybe that has to do again with the early influences. Because I know Mo, even though this is about D.Bledsoe right now, I know Mo. He has influences just like I did. I had an older brother. He had older uncles and such that played his past music for him, and no coincidence, he becomes this incredible MC. But it's like more nostalgic than it is like in the moment.
Now, the contemporary. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, I never tripped off that. I guess that's kind of how it was too. I had my older brothers that were kind of like, like we were getting like New York tapes. So we were, like Boogie Down. So I got sprinkled the same way, with the influences. So I want to talk about Richmond. I got some good history in Richmond. I did a lot of stuff with the homie Chili Powder, and he did stuff with Master P, and he brought me in to do a lot of DJing stuff for P, and we did a lot of stuff at K. Lou, and so we were rolling around with like Lil Rick and Mob Sin, and then we go to Jones and Harris with the CDs, and you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, my beginnings were Richmond. I was living in Benicia. Yeah, and then I don't know. Are you familiar with Fly? You fly in the Bro Heights?
I'm not familiar.
Don't worry about it. No, don't worry about it. But Neo the Gift.
For sure.
The Gift is like one of my favorites. He's a technician. He's one of the ones.
For sure.
So talk to me about in one of your interviews. You said if the Bay Area was New York, then Richmond would be Harlem.
For sure that.
Break that, like, bro, just expound on that. Let me, give me some of that.
So really where I got that from, I was playing college hoop out in Vegas at a JC in Vegas after I left the Bay Area. And Ron Artest, Meta World Peace, his little brother was on my team.
Oh, that's
Manny, he was out of his mind, but Queensbridge all the way. And like instantly we connected, but he told me right away, he was like, DB, if you was from anywhere, you would be from Harlem, son. I'm telling you, you would. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Even though I had already been a fan of like Cameron and Mace and McGruff, and I loved all those dudes.
That's right. Yeah.
But when he said that, I'm like, man, what you mean by that? Well, you just always, just the way you present yourself, you always this, that. I'm like, okay, all right, for sure, I get it. Because if Queensbridge is like you, that ain't me. But
Queens is hot.
If Harlem is, I guess, if that's the fly shit, then yes, you are correct. And just like you mentioned, Neo the Gift and just Richmond in general, we have been on that smooth tip. You know what I mean? It wasn't, even though Richmond has a notorious reputation for certain things, you know what I'm saying? It's still the way we brought the player across was different from other cities in the Bay Area. So I guess that's where the Harlem comparison comes from. And yeah, I'll for sure take it because
No, ain't no wrong with that. No, you see
Yeah.
on Instagram, you give me a Big Daddy Kane vibe,
yeah,
or like it's just I don't know what it is. You got the you got the wild jewelry. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, oh yeah, it's like some Kane. Like you could have dancers behind you. You know what I'm saying? Doing something like that would be crazy.
I've heard that once upon a time too, but
Okay.
in the that comparison specifically, like my take from that is just like I'm not extra overtly like boisterous and like yeah, I'm kind of even keel, and I know that's how Kane was. Like it was like, damn, dude is tight, but he ain't gonna like overexert himself and. Like I wasn't the Tupac type, you know what I mean? And I guess Jay also fell into that same Big Daddy Kane, like
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, no coincidence there.
No. So would you say
I can't hit no backflips though.
Oh no. So I was talking to my homeboy Da Vinci the other day. We were talking about Fillmore.
Shout out Da Vinci.
Da Vinci, he's one of my guys. And we were talking about Fillmore and just like when you come from a place like Oakland or you come from these places that have a sound that you kind of you staple on that you staple on that region, like that region has a particular sound.
Yeah.
But Richmond, I don't know, like I don't feel like Richmond has a particular sound or vibe. So it feels like to me though, I always feel like that's an advantage, so that means you could kind of move around and wiggle the way you need to do. So what, as far as like what you do, what how would you describe the vibe of what you present?
Well, on that note, like I kind of I'll agree to disagree on that one. Like I felt for a while that Richmond did have a sound that kind of excluded artists that did music like me, like Giffy, like Earth.
That's a good point.
Yeah, like it was a little more. It was a lot more mobby. Oh yeah, and still to this day, like it's a lot more grittier than I choose to approach it. You know what I'm saying? But
that's a good point.
Like along those lines, like with me, again, I just think it was the influences that I had. Like I didn't early on listen to a lot of regional music, which left me feeling a little excluded and you know what I mean? Like kind of outcast in a way, but at the same time, my relationships wouldn't allow for that to totally ostracize me. Like,
yeah, I got you.
Like my people know me, like those that know me, they know me. So I am still Richmond, but at the same time, I just didn't have the same experience as everybody. So my sound is a little different too. So
I got you.
Yeah, like again, mine. I feel like when people were more mobbing and making it clear whose turf it was, I was still more concentrated on trying to deliver bars in a dope ass rap. Whereas I know some of my peers weren't as concerned. So that's why when in 2010, when I did like really, well, when I moved back to California, that's why me and Ert clicked up at the time. Shout out Kevin Allen. That's why we linked up. We had been known each other since early 2000s, but he had just seen the change in me when I came back, that it was time. And we linked it up because we were more musically inclined than, as opposed to just trying to set trip in a way.
I got you. No, I got you.
Like,
I got you.
He from North Richmond, like I'm from South Richmond. That's supposed to be a no-no. I was staying in the townhouses and bringing my North Richmond partner through there, and it was pretty dangerous. I should not have done that, but at the same time, the love was real, and the admiration for each other's craft was more than real. So, like, it just felt like we were on the outside of what the city was doing at the time.
I got you. So it was. So 2010, you said you kind of really locked in. Was that part of your first project? It was How to Be a Rich Man?
Shoot, man, look at you. You the real Narwhal, blood.
Man, no, I mean, like, talk to me about that. Like, was he a part of that?
No, so
Yeah, 'cause that
like I
was
said, I had moved in Vegas. I had moved to Vegas for a while. Uh, Tried the school thing. Ended up having my first kid. My son was born in Vegas,
okay.
and that's where I really like after basketball just didn't pan out for where my life was going at the time.
Mhm.
I really like locked in and started paying for studio time and just started making songs. And I'm trying to pass out mixtapes. I'm
Oh, okay.
burning CDs with other people's songs on there and throwing a DB song in the mix. Like I really got serious. Like during the MySpace days, like
That's
I
right.
really like started to get more serious because I actually had a platform at the time. Like now I actually got a place where somebody can listen to my music if they want to.
Mhm.
And
I got you.
yeah, so when I moved back at the end of '09, as soon as I touched down, like things were funky for me in the Bay Area. Like it had dried up for me in Vegas. Like it was just this is the time the economic boom, you know, the crash
Oh, yeah,
happened.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I moved back and I didn't have a lot rolling for me. But again, Irk hit me and we just really clicked up and in a way that kind of saved me from making even worse decisions than what I made at the time. And he was like, and I let him hear the project and he like, DB, this is tight. Let me shoot a video for you. He had just got picked up a camera, the
Mm.
DSL or whatever you call it. And
That's right.
I was the second video that he shot, but the first one that he actually put out.
Mm.
And he really believed in what I was doing like that because of what I was talking about. You can find it on YouTube now. The song is called What's Up. And it was basically a contradiction song to what everybody was making in music. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm on nigga shit till I die.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like,
okay.
but the point was to make my niggas realize that what we were doing wasn't necessarily conducive to what we want in life. Like I'm seeing too many people dying. I'm seeing like at the time that stuff happened in Richmond High with the little girl, then the church got shot up at Gethsemane and like all this crazy shit is happening. But I'm like, we still rapping about killing each other. Like, what's up? So he seen the value in the message that I was intending to put across, and he took a chance on me, and that set me in motion for sure.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So one of the lines you said you wanted to be the first MC from Richmond to get a Pharrell beat.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, what was that? Is he like one of your
for sure.
top producers? Pharrell.
For sure. Like aside from the music part, like I've been a Neptune head since Harlem World, Not the Kids. I believe that's the name of the song. But even before that, like on Mace's on Harlem World, Looking at Me is a Pharrell beat. Noriega, like all that stuff. I was like, what is this? But like this is it's crazy because I'm on this like crazy alien hype, I guess now. But at the same time, I was like, man, this is out of this world. Like,
yeah.
I love it. I love this. So yeah, for real. But deeper than that, like seriously, it's like one of those people that you got a distant admiration for. Like, of course, I don't know Pharrell and never met him, and I don't call myself a super fan of anybody, but just the person himself. Like when I seen that Oprah interview, I picked up Alchemist because he said that changed his life. Since reading the Alchemist,
yeah, the book.
Yeah, I haven't put down books, bro. I might be on like seriously like 100 books now in whatever span of time that was, which is big for somebody like me because I don't profess to have ever been a reader. I don't. That just wasn't part of the culture. That wasn't celebrated. Like, yeah, we for sure rapping. We for sure about to be in tune with what people wearing, and it wasn't about no books. He really like added something to my life that nobody did. So now, like, fast forward, that's what I'm trying to do with what I'm presenting. Like, no, I'm not talking about all the regular stuff. I barely cuss in my music anymore because I want my babies to not squint when they hear dad saying something weird. And like, I'm being very intentional now, but because of people like Pharrell, who did the same thing for me. It wasn't cool for him to be vulnerable on Oprah and cry about his grandma or about his blessings, but that's real. But like, why not try to enrich somebody? Project Enrichment. Why not try to enrich somebody else's life, like with the voice that you got? And that's all I want to do now. Like, I don't have all these ambitions of grandeur and like getting this big $1 million contract anymore. It ain't about that at all. This is me trying to pay it forward because I messed up. Like I messed up in a lot of ways before, and I'm just trying to pay it forward.
Yeah, I hollered at my homeboy. He's an MC from LA, but he's been in Oakland for a while. His name is Bamboo. He's done stuff like Soul Assassins, DJ Muggs, Cypress Hill and stuff like that. So we hollered, and he's a community activist, and it's kind of in the same realm where he was saying like he's never really done music to gain fans. He's really doing it to kind of inspire people to be active in the community, like kind of give them some energy, some inspiration to get out there and make some changes.
Yeah,
so really see some pop off.
And again, like I'm not perfect. I wish I was even better in that regards. Like I wish I could articulate that message even better about how important it is for us to be the catalyst for the positive changes that are necessary. But I'm not there yet. Like all I can talk about is where I've been and what I took from it. Like I was an alienated parent. I was a materialistic fiend. I was XYZ. I had a lot of things that I feel like I overcame to a larger degree, and I'm still dealing with them to some degree. But at the same time, again, everything I learned, that's what I'm trying to put across. But it's so much further I could go, like I'm saying, like in those regards, like community activism and all that. I wish I was more involved and I can engage somebody else to do all that, but I can't talk it until I'm really there. So
I can dig it. What other producers kind of got your ears? You know what I mean? Like new or old?
New or old? Let me start old, I guess. Always gotta say Dre for sure. I'm also a huge Ye fan, for better and for worse. Like I will always, like, if I didn't say for real, I would have said Ye on that song. Again, for better and for worse. But now fast forward, man, I'm really I really do mess with what Mike Will does. Damn, but I mean, honestly, now you just caught me in a moment because I haven't really thought about that. Now, currently, I really am more of a fan of the network that I've become a part of. Like, OG Darren is insane. Soundtrack. Oscar, who produced my last project. Carlo Rashi, who just produced this project. And then he blew my mind when I sent him the songs. He said, send me back the acapellas. I need to redo some of these beats. Came back even harder. Like all the people that and Monty Draper, like people don't talk about how good of a producer Monty is because they just don't know yet. But Monty is sitting on, I'm telling you, he's sitting on over 100 songs collectively from us from Grand National that he produced and is just waiting. DJ D Sharp, we gotta, like, y'all heard East Shore Highway for sure, but there is something coming soon that follows that, and I don't even want to talk about it yet. But DJ D Sharp, like all these people that I'm around right now have really been my focus in terms of my fandom. Like like I said, you just caught me with that question.
No, but that's dope that you can even pull from the folks that are in your proximity.
It's a blessing. Like, I don't have to use YouTube beats. You know what I mean? I got all these people. My guy 520 who did How to Be a Rich Man. He did oh God, why I can't even name all my projects. We got like 3 projects together though, but I've never met this guy in person. He's a friend of a friend who he's Mississippi, LA, he's been everywhere. But to this day, just this morning, he hit me, DB, this new thing is fire. He was like, and I'm like, okay, so what we doing now?
You got a whole number.
I'm working on it right now. So again, all these people like in my community and in the network, like they keep my ear engaged. So it's harder for me
to even go out of that. You don't need to
Yeah.
go out the circle.
Like I love new stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not one of them old dudes that's just like, oh, the new shit is trash. But really, I've been so immersed in what I'm doing now, like it is harder to point to outside influences.
No, but that's dope though, because look, like I grew up like in the same pocket where I was getting influenced by stuff my older brothers had. And there was, it was far in between where you'd have somebody, if we're listening to like, I'll just keep using Brand Nubian. I don't know why I keep using them, but we'll just keep using them.
Because they
But
are.
if that was kind of like what we were into, it was far in between trying to find somebody in the Bay that was even in that zone,
Yeah, that's
But
similar.
then it took, once Hyro got going and Souls of Mischief and everything, they kind of provided that space.
Oh
for
yeah, for
anybody.
sure. Then you're like, oh, we do have that.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay. So now we have some local cats that we could kind of champion that were, on a different page, doing other stuff. So in 2014, up to 2014, you had like 7 mixtapes or
Yeah.
like you already had albums and you already had that under your belt at 2014. Like what created the production? Like what created that the fire to keep to put out the output?
I gotta credit Kevin Allen. Like I'm sure he gets a little tired of how much I shout him out, but it's real though. Like I cannot talk about those periods of time without talking about him. Like we were just like that and doing that. Like even when I was on my own hype and making my own music, he was still either right there or not too far away. So I mean, he really just like we were pushing each other in that moment. And I felt like I'm in a Currency vein. Like I feel like more is more. Yeah. He is more of your artist where he's gonna squeak it, fine tune it. It is about to be perfect when you hear it. I knew radio ain't checking for me. But he already had their ear, so I respected how he did it. But on my end, I was like, bro, I just rap. I'm about to keep hitting them over the head until somebody say, oh, okay, bro. Oh, okay, for sure. And I mean, that's still where I am with it. I just love rapping so much that I don't care if I just dropped a project 3 months ago. Here you go. Here goes something else. I just dropped this yesterday. I'm already thinking about, okay, what I'm about to do next, because the love is strong and it's real right now. But I know, like in this fickle world, like especially of hip hop, I gotta be ready with what's next. I ain't gonna leave them waiting no more.
Damn, that's crazy because even like the Stargazer gospel, I couldn't find the credits who produced it. I didn't know where to find them at.
I will have to work on that because I did not upload this one.
Okay.
But no, it's my guy Carlo Rashid. So funny story, I went to high school with his younger brother. Then over the years, after I came back from Vegas, Carlo Rashid owned a studio in Hayward called Studio 92. And I ended up making a lot of music there where I connected with Stevie L Baby. And Stevie executive produced Stargazer Gospel with me, but he's the one that tapped in Carlo Rashid to produce this whole thing. Okay. And Stevie produced number 11, but Carlo Rashid produced 1 through 10. And unfortunately, he's largely unknown as a producer, as dope as he is. So even on last Friday, and I don't want to date this conversation. So when we had the listening thing for it some Fridays ago, a lot of people in the room are asking who produced it, and he's sitting right here, and it's almost invisible to him. So I'm like, more than happy to be the one to shed the light on how dope he is. And by the end of the night, his artist in there taking his number down, and I'm like, yes, deserving. Please
That thing, man.
make him make more.
That thing, man. And because I'm telling you, like when the project in Richmond dropped, I was running around like, I was with damn Sylvester.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we were hanging out because the homie Steve Anderson. Why am I forgetting? Like it's wild once you start doing interviews, you forget everybody's
For real, the names just start, man.
what in the world? Stephen King. What am I saying?
Okay.
Stephen King. So he was doing an art mural. He was doing a big old piece. So me and Sylvester, we were like popping up every day filming. You know, like so literally we were there like we were kicking it like every day for like 2 weeks. He was doing this big mural. And yeah, dude, we were just talking. I forgot the whole point of me bringing it up. What was the point?
Project in Richmond.
Oh yeah, Project in Richmond. Yeah, because it came out around the same time we were popping up. And every day I pulled up. Every day I pulled up like, yo, I hopped out, like, hop out the car. Like, you remember this too. That's why I could tell the story because I was like, dude, man, D.Bledsoe, I don't know, man. This one is, and then you came right back. I mean, this is a question I don't have, like, I got a few questions set up.
Oh, all good.
This one to be like, so you're good with just coming, like you let that one breathe for a couple months and then you just come right on.
Yeah, because again,
wow,
like the it feels like it's almost like fans have ADD at this point. It's like they hear something and unless they're bombarded by the radio or something or wherever they get their music from, unless they keep hitting them over the head with it, it's almost like they're on to the next thing. And I'm still a fan myself, so I know how that goes. Mm-hmm. So my thing is like, that's gonna be there. It's gonna be brand new for whoever hasn't heard it. My project's from 14, 13. Mm-hmm. Just the other night at the listening thing, people were like, is this new? Like, nah, bro, it's 2012, but it's still new to you. So my thing is, I'm not about to wait until it gets the celebration that I think it should have. I'm just about to keep making this music, putting it out, and hoping that what I'm doing is timeless. Like I try not to make references to mm-hmm. dates and specify like when I made the music, because I want somebody mm-hmm. years from now to be like, did he just make this today? Or mm-hmm. I have no idea. But by the time the masses catch up, I'll already have a catalog that's many. So like, oof. Yeah, with Project in Richmond, I love it, but it was time to do more. Just like now, again, I'm already plotting the next move. I already got a project done with Sharp. Like, I already got a project done with Monty. I got a project with Jaren. Like seriously, like, I mean, when I say done, like everything is recorded, it ain't just written or any of that. Things are done. We just got to mix them and package it. Like all this stuff is done.
Ooh, you guys going, and you recording everything at the Reef, everything?
Between the Reef and Slapwagon. Okay. Shouts out to SK because he been really like, yeah, he's been being very generous with his time and showing big love to the crew for sure, because he could be making a lot more money than what I can pay him.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to take it back to Richmond again.
Yeah.
Just so in my brain, I have MCs from the Bay Area that just kind of like they stick out, and they're like, you can tell that like they were really on that pen, like they're really trying to chisel out something special. So checking in on what you've been doing, I stumbled over the name Johnny Cash. So check it, which is crazy. So in 2007, 2 weeks before he passed, he come by the crib.
Sure.
Yeah, it's all good. 250. Yep. Well, he come by the crib because this is at a point when I'm doing mixtapes. You know, like the DJ. Like I like to get in there and do some mix. You know, like really get in there and.
Oh, I need to hear this. Please continue.
I got to give you, you know. But so he came by the house and we were plotting. He was like, "Cool, man." You know, he came through. I started getting tracks together. This was when it was just you setting up tracks. You know, you like, I got this instrumental. What you think about that? So I gave him a CD, like, man, let's get busy. We're gonna get busy. Ended up getting killed. You know what I mean? 2 weeks,
Yeah.
2 weeks later.
Yeah.
Can you just like, I always like to, whenever rap discussions come up, I try to throw his name out there just to keep it in
Man.
the air, because he was one of those guys that I just, I would have put my money, I would have said, yo, if we looking for somebody, this dude is out of control. Can you
All
give me
right. So
some? Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. This might be my favorite question. So first, let me shout out his little brother, Exotic Bullies, Jonte. His little brother, like again, like these are people that I grew up with, like on a serious note, like side by side. My very first organized basketball team that I played on was for the Elsa Brandy Boys Club, and I came late to the signups, and so they said, okay, we're just gonna throw you on a team. We're gonna throw you on the Hilltop team. That's the team that has space. At the time, my mom had just moved like right across the street from the Elsa Brandy Boys Club, so I technically wasn't supposed to be on their team.
Yeah, I got
And
you.
so
Okay.
they throw me into practice immediately with all these Hilltop people. And mind you, I went to school with all these people because I went to Crespi, I went to Hilltop. I went to Highland Elementary in Hilltop. So I know all these guys, but this is my very first time playing organized ball, and they throw me on the very best team. Got Johnny Cash, got my man Jeremiah King, Carnival King. His older brother played for Cal, Circus King.
So it was real. It was real.
Yeah, like all these people. My man Chad Rose. Like again, people from my demographic in Richmond, they know all these names. But anyway, they threw me on the very best team, which is the Hilltop team with Johnny Cash. Pretty boy, got all the Jordans and all the stuff, but we was balling. We ended up winning the championship. From then on out, that set the bond. Like even after moms moved away and I went to high school elsewhere and all that, it was still nothing but love from then on out between like these became family. Like we're going to Great America together. We going ice skating at Ice World in Berkeley. Like we were really kids together. And then as things progressed into our teenage years, I started seeing like DB still hooping. My partner's out there getting it, but it was still love. After I moved away, I'm always coming back. I'm at Hilltop. Johnny is now rapping. My man, he blasted, got tattoos everywhere, got an entourage at Hilltop Mall, and I'm coming through there looking like a nerd now because I'm hooping and I ain't got no money like that.
Yeah.
But it's all love. My nigga Damien, what's up? And so while I'm in Vegas, I get the news when that happened, and I'm instantly just like shocked because this is one of my peers that I lost to gun violence. Like I'm from Richmond. I knew plenty of people that had died and all that, but it was the first one close to me. And so that really hit home, on top of the fact that he was the best rapper that I had heard, not just from Richmond. He was the best rapper to me that I had heard from the Bay Area to that point, because he wasn't nothing like, again, like what we were talking about earlier, he wasn't anything like what you expected. Like he still knew the lingo. He's still banging North Richmond and all that in his songs, but his delivery and the way he came about it was so fresh. Like now I wish I could rewind that first question when you asked me my influences, because he was for sure one of them. Like when I was just writing raps in class and all that, and hearing Johnny Cash like from afar while I'm in Vegas, I'm like, I'm not hypey. I'm that. Like, that's who I am. And so when that happened, like it just hit me. It hit me hard, and that kind of set a precedence too in what I wanted to talk about. Like I didn't all the way fully understand it, but I knew that I didn't want to perpetuate that gun talk and all that, because I seen what happened to my partner unassumingly falling into that. Like the man could really rap, but he was still caught in another realm. You know what I mean? So
that's bananas.
Big shouts out to TIP Johnny Cash. I'll say his whole name, Johnny Castaneda. Shout out Mama Castaneda. Shout out Jonte, like the whole family. Man, he was a special one for sure.
So at this moment, do you have any mentors?
I'd say that my mentors now are not involved in music. Like
Yeah, that's fine.
my my mentors now are like in real estate. My mentors now are in literature. My mentors now are like
That's
in
tough.
other places, but at the same time, I think I'm the link between that and the
Hip
culture.
hop. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm the bridge for that. Like all these things that I'm reading and all this business that I'm trying to drum up in terms of my day job, like it's all to connect
You're
to
pulling them
try to.
together.
Yeah, I'm trying to help these kids of whoever is listening to me. Not even kids, even people peers that are listening to me that are still trying to figure it out. Like I'm trying to be that bridge. That's like, yeah, it's okay to take pride in your mind. It's okay to aspire to do this and make a living for yourself outside of the craft. Like you can, like for the longest, I thought I could not work a job and rap at the same time because of the persona. But the only reason I'm able to do what I do now is because of my profession. I can afford to,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like before, I couldn't throw $1 towards a music video. I could hardly, like, I'm trying to pay for studio time off of, oh, girl, if you really love me, you give me 5 hours. Come on. Nah.
Yeah, we're popping. So I want to, before we shut him down, I want to talk about DJ Basta. Give
Yes.
him his, because that was like we said a little bit. Give a little overview on DJ Basta, because he feels like the kind of like that producer that wants to be tucked away. Kind
Yeah.
of like just produce
Yeah.
and do my thing. But I want to shine a little light on him. Give him a little.
Please. Let's shine a big light on DJ Bassa. I gave him a
Right.
special thank you when we had the listening for Stargazer Gospel, but I can't thank him enough for being that initial spark for my solo endeavors. Like for sure got the call from Kevin Allen to come pull up and get back, period, like in terms of Grand National. But in terms of energy behind D.Bledsoe personally, like with my own solo stuff, the Seed 16, all that really like put me in motion to where I knew I was still relevant enough to do this again, because I had stopped rapping for 5 years. So for him to be as generous as he was with making me a part of his vision and his art, like I can never forget that. Like I'm more than grateful for the opportunity that Basta gave me with that. Like he already had his Seed thing off and running. He didn't have to do that project with me. He didn't have to craft those productions specifically for me, and along with Cher in putting that all together. Like he didn't have to do any of that. So I appreciate him a lot for just being a glue in a way for a lot of us in this Grand National situation, because most of us have Seed projects, and even people that weren't a big part of season 1 or behind the scenes, they are Seed projects, and Basta again is keeping that cohesion there.
I got to write his name down because I need to chop it up with him too. Hold up, I need to get you just. I gotta get with him because he's killing something. All right, let's get into Grand National real quick, man.
Yeah.
How? I mean, you already like. I didn't know how far back you went back with Kevin Allen.
Yeah.
So I kind of, he's kind of like.
Even further, look up Cali Fam.
Cali Fam. I remember. So that was the group he was in, rapping, right?
Yeah.
So were you in that group or?
Nope. I was right there running along with him. My cousin is DS, the one with the wave cap in all the videos.
Okay, so I remember. Yeah,
I guess that was all of them, but yeah, my cousin is DS in the group.
So I mean, with Grand National, I mean, obviously, that to me feels like the kind of like the collective that everyone is kind of bouncing around and making moves. How did you just receive that, like the information, like this is going down? Did you get the bat signal, or how did
yeah. I mean, Kevin Allen again, he just texted me kind of out of nowhere. We had seen each other at the Anita Baker concert. He was with his wife, I was with my wife, and it just spoke again to our commonality, like just both. I said I'm not a super fan of anybody, but I stand corrected.
Oh, no,
We're
no,
both super fans of Anita Baker.
Oh,
So anyway, I ran into him there, and so we kind of reconnected. Hadn't talked in a few years for whatever reasons, and so he hit me. He was like, "Hey, I want you to pull up to hear some music." Hearing music turned into me getting on a song, which I think the first song was Positive. I think that was the first song we recorded. I'm not 100% certain, but anyway, yeah, that turned into me rapping, which I had not done again for 5 years.
So that was the first song that kind of brought you back in.
Oh yeah, I had not recorded a song in 5 years, not one.
I'm gonna go listen to it. I'm gonna go listen to it just to zone in and be like,
yeah,
oh, this is the first joint. Oh
yeah,
man.
but he just told me to pull up to listen to something. I end up like I had been writing over the years, but I hadn't rapped. I was trying to get my life together, gotten married, had a new baby, got my real estate license, all this other stuff, life stuff. But and rap music it hurt my heart at the time that I stopped. Like I just expected too much, and I went way too hard, and I over invested myself, and I was like,
oh, so you got scorned. You were a little scorned.
Oh yeah, I was, but again, it was my own fault because of my expectations. Now there is no expectation. I'm just trying to be generous, and like I said, pay it forward with what I learned, and hopefully I'm putting some positivity that people need into the universe, and I don't need nothing back from it. Like in all God's honest truth, like I'm losing money on my investment into music, but I don't look at it like that. Like it's my investment into the community. So
hey, well, I would say your investment, like on my end, I appreciate it, man. It gives me inspiration. You know, it's through this pandemic, Grand National, I feel like y'all saved my whole life. Cause I feel like, dude, like like if I couldn't go to them little show, you know, to the outdoor joints y'all was doing,
and
like
a lot,
oh my God, like that to me, like if I didn't have those, and that was the homie DJ Jack put me on. He's like, yo, man, we need to go, and from that spawned, you know, Drums and Ammo kind of getting some extra, yeah, man, that gave energy to the whole thing that I was already doing. So like I would say mission accomplished on my end as far as you putting some positivity in the world, man. So let's, you know, what's the social, give me, you know, what's the social media website?
Yeah, you can find everything on all platforms except Snapchat and TikTok because I'm too old, and I'll tell you that. But I'm D.Bledsoe. I am no A in there. I'm D.Bledsoe, and I'm on all that jazz there. And outside of that, just go to grandnational.com. Grand National with the X, no A. And you know, if you can't find me at either one of those places, you might not need to find me.
Yeah. For real, like you're not looking. Hey, well, man, I want to say thank you. Thanks for taking the time out,
man.
Hey, like I said, thank you again for killing that show. You know that, like,
no,
that
all good. This is only part one, man. Shouts out Drums and Ammo. You know, shouts out to you for giving me this opportunity and this platform. I appreciate everybody that's willing to listen to me. I'm long-winded sometimes when it comes to myself and what I believe in, but I appreciate you, man.
Yeah. I appreciate that. Hey, this is DJ Ambush for Drums and Ammo with D.Bledsoe. And this is This, That, and the Third.
This, That, and the Third.
Catch y'all in the next one. Thank you, man. I'm going to holler at you, man. Boy, be easy.
For sure. Thank you, man.
Peace.